How secure is your paper PHI? Over the last several years, Private Plan has had many of our clients concerned about the inaccurate or unauthorized disposal of their paper PHI. In almost every case, this was PHI that stood or was held in some kind of a bin or box next to the desk of the workers. Workers, instead of emptying these boxes into the locked to-shred bins, left them in these smaller bins, which were then inadvertently or accidentally emptied by the janitorial service. Was this a breach? Well, initially we weren't sure if it was a breach, but we talked to the Office for Civil Rights, who said, indeed, if the data was not rendered unusable, unreadable, or indecipherable, meaning if it was not secured PHI, it clearly would be a breach if it fell into unauthorized hands. The challenge or dilemma in each of these cases, however, was to determine just how many patients' information was involved, and whether or not the data had been acquired or accessed. In every one of these cases, the data ended up at a local county landfill. No one could know for sure whether the data was accessed or would be accessed sometime in the future if the garbage bags or other containers might have been broken by other garbage being dumped or thrown on top of it. So, after a lot of consultation and review, we determined these should be treated fully as breach, and breach notification should be done. What was the next step? Well, for each of these practices, the next step was guiding them through a very painful, time-consuming process of forensically identifying just how many patients' worth of data was involved. As you'll hear in future Private Plan training snippets that we'll be providing, if there's more than 500 patients' worth of data that has been breached, the consequence and the cost and the timing of breach notification is a challenge. If there's less than 500, you have a little bit more time in terms of notifying the Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services, and less cost in terms of the patient notification, etc. What can you do going forward? How secure is your paper PHI? We encourage every one of our customers or future customers to be sure that you are not using these kinds of to-shred bins. Or if you still need to use them, to train and constantly retrain and remind your staff to empty those into locked shred bins on a regular basis, definitely at the end of every shift. And clearly to not rely upon your janitorial service for emptying these. Thank you and have a great day.